This week, the EU-US Climate Alliance. Welcome to this week's Climate Breakdown. Now, much was made when Joe Biden became US President about how Europe and the US can finally be on the same page when it comes to climate policy. Now, one of those areas may well end up being aviation emissions. A senior EU official has told the European Parliament that working together on things like fuel standards may well be an area in which Washington and Brussels can get along finally. A study back in November by the European Commission, long awaited and some say delayed, showed that the non-CO2 impact of aviation on global warming was much higher than originally anticipated, meaning that things like nitrogen oxide and soot have a huge impact on the environment and are areas in which fuels need to be better. The study identified policy options like putting a price on nitrogen oxide and having that in the emissions trading scheme, changing flight paths to make sure they don't go over climate sensitive areas. Flight path diversions are actually something that the industry is rather interested in at the moment. Air traffic management updates under the Single European Sky Initiative are, well, they've been around for a while and they still need to be signed off. Whether or not they will be soon remains to be seen. Now, the idea of the US and EU collaborating on something like fuel standards does have certain advantages because it does skirt the issue of reducing air traffic, which probably neither side wants. But focusing on things like fuels is pretty in vogue at the moment. The European Commission is going to release in the next few weeks or so a proposal to make sure that there is a target for sustainable aviation fuels. These are cleaner fuels that could be used to replace conventional kerosene and eventually maybe even completely replace them depending on if the supply can be ramped up, but there are a lot of doubts about that. Adding fuel standards into the mix could be a nice fit for the two issues. We've seen something similar in shipping where the International Maritime Organization has managed to put a sulfur cap on fuel that is currently in effect. Maybe a similar standard for fuel could have a similar impact on the aviation sector. So that's another thing to watch out for in the sky. Thank you for tuning in to another Climate Breakdown. Share, retweet, subscribe, send to your friends, and until next time, ciao for now.